Let's go ahead and take a look at the ceiling joist over here and the garage rafter ties here for the L-shaped house. The garage ties or rafter ties will be 4 foot on center, and they will attach to a rafter at each end. And then these ones that run in the other direction will usually attach to a gable stud, one of the studs that goes up at the end of the wall. Ceiling joist, 16 inches on center. The rafters are 16 inches on center, so each ceiling joist will tie to a rafter. I think I have the ceiling joist here scaled at about 2 by 8s, and I think the rafters are 2 by 10s. They will need to hook to a beam, attached to a beam with some hangers. The beam, of course, will sit on top of the wall and have a post underneath it. And most of the time it's going to require an additional footing also. Another view of the hangers to create a ceiling that is continuous. Ceiling joists again. You don't need to use a 2 by 8 on the side. The 2 by 4 can attach to the gable studs also. And here I ran the beam a little bit farther. If you get a 16-foot beam and all you need is 15 foot, why not run it a little farther past, or at least to the next ceiling joist? Even if it would have stopped over here and you could have ran these two like this one is here, that would be fine also. But to me, this just gives it a little more something to bear on, even though most of the load is going to be going right down here to the corner of the wall here. Of course, we have a 4 by 6. A 4 by 4 might do. Another view of the beam, and then of course here are the double 2 by 4s that are going to be helping to hold up the ridge. The straps, again, don't forget we need some type of a rafter tie. Every 4 foot you're going to need a strap. And then, of course, these ceiling joists need to attach to the roof rafters. This drywall backing, of course, a flat 2 by 6 will do for this situation. Give you about an inch to nail the drywall or screw the drywall to on both sides. Crawl space access hole. This would be the access hole into the attic. And I believe if you don't have a forced air unit, it is 22.5 by 22.5, I think, is usually the minimum size for this. And if you do have a forced air unit for your central heating and air conditioning, then you might need a 30-inch by 30-inch bay. And of course, that's to get the unit up into the attic itself. Another support for the ridge here that's sitting on top of the drywall backing, another 2 by 6 that is nailed to the top plate. The ceiling joist here lap on this wall. These are lapping on this wall. And of course you come into the master bedroom and it needs to shift over the closet, master closet, and the master bathroom. Flat 2 by 4 for backing here. And again, every 4 foot, a strap for the rafter ties. Another view of the ceiling joists that are going to be a little longer. Now, don't forget, in here, I have 2 by 8. If you go a little longer, the engineer might call out for a 2 by 10 or something a little longer. I just left these at 2 by 8s, but it might need to be, the lumber sizes might change depending upon the span of the room, how far apart it is. The walls are where it's going to be bearing on. A view from the upper section, top view. And that is it for the video. Hope it helps, gives you an idea of how this stuff is constructed. I am going to put a link to a playlist that's going to have a variety of different roof types and ceilings, of course, and some just different ways to build a house like this, just to give you an idea, to give those people who are trying to figure out how in the heck these things are built just some more information.